Attention, passionate Dallas Cowboys fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East, and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another championship run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before we dive in, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and fellow Dallas Cowboys fans. Let's get to the news. All right, Cowboys Nation, buckle up because what I am about to tell you could really shake things up in the NFC East and in the NFL as a whole. We're going to dive deep into a story that has been gaining momentum over the past few days, involving a talented young player with a legendary football bloodline, who is now looking for a new home after being waived by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. His name is Shilo Sanders, and he has been making headlines not just because of his talent, but because of the potential fit he might have with the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, you heard that right. The very same Cowboys who are always looking to bolster their secondary and keep their championship window wide open. Now, let us set the stage. Shilo Sanders, son of the iconic Deion Sanders, arguably one of the greatest NFL players of all time and brother of Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, has been navigating his way through the league, trying to carve out his own path. He has a dynamic defensive back, a player with a nose for the ball, and the athleticism to match. But as fate would have it, his journey with the Buccaneers came to an abrupt end earlier this week. He was waived on August 24th, just a day after an incident in the final preseason game where he was ejected after throwing a punch at Buffalo Bills tight end Zach Davidson. That kind of action, even if accidental or heated, often puts players on the radar for teams to reconsider their chances. Now, to clarify, there was a lot of speculation that Tampa Bay might try to keep Sanders around on their practice squad, especially given his talent and pedigree. But as of now, that hasn't happened. Instead, NFL analysts and insiders are buzzing about where he might land next. One notable voice in the conversation is Scott DiBenedetto from Pro Football and Sports Network, who has been outlining possible landing spots for Sanders. And interestingly, he hasn't ruled out the possibility of Sanders returning to Tampa Bay. But he has also pointed out some other teams that could be a good fit, teams that could use a young, talented defensive back to develop and contribute. Among those options, the Dallas Cowboys stand out as a particularly intriguing landing spot. And I say that because of the strong relationship between Jerry Jones and Deion Sanders. We all know how close Jerry is with Deion, and how he appreciates players with a football IQ and a competitive edge, especially young guys with pedigree. The Cowboys have been consistently building their secondary and have shown a willingness to give young players opportunities, players who can step in and contribute quickly, especially in a league that is increasingly emphasizing versatile defensive backs who can cover, blitz, and make plays all over the field. Think about it. Dallas's secondary has been a mix of seasoned veterans and promising young talent. Injuries happen, and depth is always a concern as the season progresses. Bringing in a player like Shilo Sanders, even if just for the practice squad, could be a strategic move. It has a low-risk, potentially high-reward scenario. Plus, with the Cowboys' strong culture of development and their focus on athleticism and football IQ, Sanders could quickly adapt and become a valuable asset. Now, I want to pause here for a second. Pause here just for a second, if you want. The YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you. It's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let's continue with the big reveal. Back to the story, though. Sanders, speaking recently on his YouTube channel, addressed his future in the league with a maturity and openness that is worth noting. He said he's talking to his agent and waiting for the next opportunity, whether that is in the NFL or elsewhere. And that is the key point. His talent isn't in question. The question is, will he get another shot in the league? If so, it is probably going to be on a practice squad, a place where he can develop and prove himself. But don't discount other leagues either. The United Football League, or UFL, has historically been a springboard for players looking to get back to the NFL. Many players have used that platform to showcase their skills and make a return to the big stage. So, Sanders might be exploring options outside the NFL as well, and that could be a smart move for his long-term career. Now, looking at the current Dallas Cowboys roster, we see a team that has been remarkably resilient and strategic in building a championship-caliber squad. Their defense, under the leadership of defensive coordinator Dan Quinn, has evolved into one of the most formidable units in the league. Players like Trevon Diggs, Micah Parsons, and Derion Kendrick have been making waves, but depth is always a concern, especially with the physical toll of a long season. Adding a player like Shilo Sanders with his versatility and talent could provide that extra layer of security in the secondary. And let us not forget the broader context. The NFC East has become one of the most competitive divisions in recent years. The Eagles, Giants, and Commanders have all made significant moves in their roster construction, and the Cowboys need to stay ahead of the curve if they want to keep their championship aspirations alive. Depth, especially in the defensive backfield, can be the difference in close games where every play, every turnover, and every defensive stop could be the deciding factor. More than just roster considerations, this situation also speaks to the culture Dallas has built under Jerry Jones and Mike McCarthy. They've shown a willingness to give chances to talented young players with upside, and that's part of their philosophy. If Sanders were to join, even as a practice squad player, it could be a sign that the Cowboys are willing to invest in future potential, especially given his pedigree and the football IQ he brings from his family lineage. Now, I want to touch on the broader implications. The NFL is a league where talent alone isn't always enough. You need the right opportunity, the right fit, and sometimes a bit of luck. Sanders has had his ups and downs, but his athleticism and football instincts are undeniable. His father, Deion Sanders, always emphasized versatility and competitive spirit, and those qualities are still evident in his son. The NFL has always been about finding those diamonds in the rough, and the Cowboys could very well be the team that helps Sanders shine. And of course, this moves beyond just the individual. The NFC East is watching closely. The Cowboys making a move for Sanders could send ripples through the division, signaling that they are not just content with their current roster, but are actively looking for ways to improve and adapt. It's a chess match, and every move counts in this game of NFL chess. Looking ahead, what can we expect? Well, if Sanders joins the Cowboys, it might not be as a starter right away, but don't underestimate the impact of adding a player with his raw talent and football IQ. He could become a key rotational player, special teams contributor, or even push for a starting role if he impresses the coaching staff during practice. And with the season just around the corner, every day counts. Of course, the biggest question remains, will the Cowboys pull the trigger? Considering their history, their roster needs, and their relationship with Deion Sanders, it's not out of the realm of possibility. If they see potential in him fitting into their defensive scheme and culture, they might bring him in for a look. And if not, Sanders might explore other options, but for Cowboys fans, this is an exciting storyline to follow, especially with the season kicking off soon. Now, just imagine the headlines if Sanders were to come to Dallas. A young talent with a legendary family name, joining a team that's hungry for another Super Bowl run. It would be a storybook chapter 1 that would energize the fan base and add another layer of excitement to the season. The Cowboys have always been about big moments and big personalities, and Sanders fits that mold perfectly. And let's not forget, the NFL landscape is always shifting. Injuries, trades, unexpected releases, they all create opportunities for players like Sanders to make their mark. The next few weeks could be crucial for him, and for the Cowboys, it could be a chance to strengthen their secondary with a player who has a high ceiling. The coaching staff will surely be watching his film, evaluating his fit, and weighing the potential impact he could have on the team's defense. As fans, we love these stories: underdogs, legacy players, young stars trying to break through. And right now, Sanders' story is just heating up. Whether he ends up in Dallas, another team, or even outside the NFL, it's clear that his talent has caught the attention of many. And honestly, that's what makes following this league so exciting every week. New stories, new surprises, and new opportunities for players to redefine their careers. So what is your take, Cowboys fans? Do you think Shilo Sanders could be the missing piece in our secondary? Or do you believe he'll need more time to develop and prove himself? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinions matter so much to us and to the Dallas Cowboys. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates. So stay tuned for the latest Dallas Cowboys news. We're in this together, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for Sanders and our beloved team. Remember, every season is a new chapter in Cowboys history, and with the right moves, we can keep that legendary legacy alive. So keep the faith, stay passionate, and as always, go Cowboys.